Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tokyo Talk. I'm Mai, and today's word is juggle.
And I'm Jack. Juggle? That's a fun one. It makes me think of clowns at a circus, keeping multiple balls in the air.
Exactly. Literally, juggle means to continuously toss a number of objects into the air and catch them. But it also has a very common figurative meaning. Jack, how would you describe that?
You bet. Figuratively, it means trying to manage several important activities or tasks at once. Like when you're trying to juggle work, family, and hobbies. It can be quite a balancing act.
That's a great way to put it. A balancing act. So listeners, when Jack says balancing act, he means a situation where you need to give careful attention to different things to keep them in equilibrium. Have you ever felt like you had to juggle too many things, Jack?
Oh, definitely. Especially when I first moved to Japan. I was juggling Japanese lessons, finding an apartment, and starting a new job. It was a whirlwind.
I can imagine. That sounds like a lot to handle. The word juggle really captures that feeling of trying to keep everything going without dropping anything.
Exactly. Now, Mai, what are some synonyms for juggle in this figurative sense? Sometimes words like manage or handle come to mind.
Good question, Jack. While manage and handle can be synonyms, juggle often implies more difficulty and the need to cope with several competing demands simultaneously.
That makes sense. So if I say I need to manage my schedule, that's more about organizing. But if I say I'm juggling 3 projects this week, it paints a picture of me frantically trying to keep them all on track.
Precisely. Manage can be routine, but juggle suggests a more dynamic and often stressful effort. Another synonym could be multitask. How is that different, Jack?
Multitask. I think multitask often implies doing several things at the exact same time, like typing an email while on a phone call. Juggle can involve switching rapidly between tasks rather than simultaneous execution.
That's a key distinction. Multitask can sometimes suggest efficiency, whereas juggle highlights the challenge and potential for things to go wrong. For example, she skillfully juggled her career and family, emphasizes her effort and success despite the difficulty.
Right. You wouldn't typically say she skillfully multitasked her career and family. It doesn't quite fit. What about the word balance? That seems pretty close to juggle.
Balance is indeed very similar and often used interchangeably. However, juggle can carry a stronger sense of ongoing, active effort, and perhaps a bit more chaos or pressure than balance, which might imply a more stable, achieved state.
I see. So I'm trying to find a balance between work and leisure. Sounds like a goal. But I'm juggling work and leisure. Sounds like the active, sometimes messy, process of trying to achieve that.
Exactly. And an antonym for juggle, in the sense of managing multiple responsibilities, might be something like focus or concentrate on a single task. Or perhaps neglect, if the juggling fails.
Haha, neglect is definitely the dark side of failed juggling. It's interesting how one word can convey so much about a situation. Any other tricky aspects for learners, Mai?
Well, the phrasal verb juggle with can sometimes appear, as in juggling with figures, meaning to manipulate numbers, sometimes deceptively. But mostly, it's to juggle something.
Good to know. So a common challenge is juggling work commitments and personal life. Many people can relate to that.
Absolutely. For instance, many parents have to juggle childcare with their jobs. It's a universal experience.
All right, let's recap some key expressions. I might say, I have to juggle multiple projects this month.
And that means you're trying to manage several projects at the same time, likely with some difficulty. What Jack just said Juggle multiple projects implies a demanding situation.
Or she's an expert at juggling her studies and a part-time job.
Meaning she's very skilled at managing both responsibilities effectively. And to show a contrast, you might juggle tasks when you're very busy, but you manage your time to try to do it effectively.
Great examples, Mai. It's all about keeping those balls in the air, whether literally or figuratively.
It certainly is. We hope this helps our listeners understand juggle a bit better. Practice using it this week.